These are little snippets of my writing. Sit back and enjoy. Leave a thumbs up if you like, a comment if you dare. This one is called The Biggest Heist in History. I've started it. It's not quite finished. Bremen knew that being a tall, good-looking man was the ticket. He read all the books about international playboys, spies, art thieves, and such. He dreamed of retiring at the age of 30 on the Riviera himself. At the age of 13, he stood at 5'10", and father and mother were both tall, so he was pretty sure he was set for height. He just had to make sure he came out good-looking. Luckily, with a very symmetrical face, he just needed a little help to become international playboy status looking. No slouch to what attracted women. He started with moisturizing his face twice a day and went to bed with a face mask. Luckily, since he was a pure blood black kid, he didn't have to worry about pimples too much, so the chance of scarring was almost impossible. Then he read about Korean boy bands who sent the boys to camps to learn to dance, work out, and to smooth and lighten their skin for an entire year. It took some research, but he finally got the 20-step process. So, for his freshman year in high school, he set about doing the regimen twice a day. 1 month into his freshman year, he got looks when he walked down the halls. His parents tried to have a heart-to-heart talk to him about girls. He assured them he knew all about girls and what they really wanted. The scandalous ones wanted babies, and the high-class ones wanted money. His dad approved of the answers and shushed his mom that thought he was headed down the wrong idea about girls. His dad says he has the perfect idea about women. Don't worry, I have zero intention of getting a girl pregnant before marriage, if I ever get married, he said. His mother worried about even more with that answer. You should have had more than one kid, selfish much, Mom, he said, walking out the room. That's my boy. He doesn't just cut, he chops, his father said. His mother was astonished and sat for quite some time, both angry and sad. His freshman year was pretty quiet. He kept with his skin routine, but he felt it wasn't enough. Yes, he got long pauses and stares from girls, but they were all freshmen. Then he read about testosterone. He asked his dad about testosterone. Surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, his father was well versed on the subject. Makes you live longer, puts hair on your head and body, and gives you a strong jawline. I'm not going to send you to the doctor, though. I don't believe in synthetic stuff. Besides, you're a kid. Who knows what that synthetic stuff will do to you? I do have a book on foods you should eat to increase testosterone in your body naturally, and what not to eat. I've actually included this book in the comment section, so make sure to pick it up. It's an Amazon affiliate link, so help her brother out. His dad was so dedicated that he changed their diet together, the entire family. Well, he and Mom. By his junior year, Bremen was a walking statue. Perfect black skin, smooth as silk, broad shoulders, six-pack, thighs that could crush a watermelon, and a butt girls could bounce a quarter off of. He even got uncomfortable stares from the administrative staff, which was filled with women. Son, are you thinking about which college you want to go to? His dad had said, in his very assuming way. I'm not going to college, Berman said. At all? His dad already was thinking about 20 different things college was good for. I can just buy the books, Bremen said, cutting off any further questions. You're up to something, his genius father said, stroking his bare chin like Confucius. You and Mom should adopt, Bremen replied. His father kept stroking his chin. Oh boy, you're probably right. Let's go shop for you a brother. Not a sister, Bremen knew not even to question now how his father was taking all this. basically saying, "Don't expect much from me." His father always shocked him, though, with how perceptive he was. And he broke out with, "I want a mansion with at least 10 acres, and the money better be untraceable." Bremen nodded. How on earth did his father already see into the future like this? When the dust settled, Bremen had a new brother and sister. His father understood that raising a little boy with a brother about to go to college was just another only child scenario, and his mother needed a daughter to play dress up with. The two were twins, brother and sister, so it was a perfect match. They were toddlers because most adoptive parents just wanted one child. Bremen took a liking to his new brother and included him somehow into his future plans. Senior year came in with very cool privileges. He barely had classes. He dated, sort of, several girls. There were at least 8 dances he had to go to in his senior year. He took a different girl each time. He got the reputation of nothing more than a kiss. He was so handsome, though, that girls fought over who he'd take to a dance and get to kiss. Clearly, he had a type of girl. She couldn't be one of the scandalous women that ran through boys like rain on a duck's back. A lot of girls were upset by this and tried to ruin his reputation. The popular girls put a quick stop to the rumors, which is unheard of in high school. He was now pushing 6'3". He looked eye to eye with his father. With his lack of classes, his father noticed that he spent a lot of time studying. Curious, he went into his room and looked at all the books. Finance, computer science, computer engineering, and actual case files of unsolved crimes. Bremen knew something had been in his room, but his father never mentioned a wisp of it to him. Bremen was missing out on who this man really was. To him, his father was this quiet, perfect man that always said the right thing at the right time and never ever got excited over anything unless it was fake excitement for entertainment value, like when he played with the twins. No, he wasn't leaving this house without sucking his father's brain dry of all of those secrets hidden within. When he approached his father, he already knew what was up. Bremen wasn't even shocked his father knew. "So you've come for the wisdom of your old man," his father said. "Pff, I have socks older than you," Bremen replied. "Hey, that's my line, you young whippersnapper," he said, pretending to be offended. They sat down. "Okay, old man, give me the scoop on life." That's how it started. They sat and talked for hours after school every day. His father taught him about life, women, money, drugs, politics, you name it. It was life lessons never covered in any book, and stuff that his mother could never teach him. Finally, after he graduated, his father taught him how to think and how to see things. "Don't say anything, but I'm not going to see these kids grow up. I want you to stay with us till you just can't stand it anymore and help your mom raise these kids," his father said. "How long do you have?" Bremen said. "I don't know. I could last 20 years. Or I could go tomorrow. I just don't want you getting halfway around the world and then getting your mom calling, begging you to come back, and you have responsibilities. Overseas or somewhere," his father said. "Well, that takes care of a few things, doesn't it?" Bremen said, stroking his bare chin. "Can you help me launch a phone app?" His father perked up. "Funny you should ask." Bremen knew he shouldn't have been surprised, but he was. "I have a couple of things we could make and sell," his father said. A few $1,000,000 later, the family moved into another house, renting out the old one. "Never give up property," his father chimed in. With that idea, Bremen spent his million in a bunch of properties, buying up entire blocks, renovating them, and renting them out instead of selling them, to the utter and bitter anger of some investors around town. When some crafty investors forced him to put up some of his holdings for auction, a secret bidder outbid them all. When his father plopped down the deeds, Bremen knew he shouldn't have been surprised. One day his father was rushed to the hospital. No heart attack, no stroke. He just passed out from his high blood pressure in the bank. Mom was finally let in on the secret that Dad wasn't perfectly healthy. When she arrived in the hospital with the two new little ones and saw Dad and son reading comics, she sighed. "You scared me. Put those down," she ranted. "Calm down, you're going to scare the twins," Bremen said. Dad nodded without even looking up. "So Storm's in love with Cyclops? What happened to Jean Grey?" "I think that comes later, or earlier, or something," Bremen said, also not looking up. A nurse came in. "How long are you going to keep my husband?" Mom asked the nurse. "Oh, we're not keeping him." The nurse bent over and handed him a piece of cake with an ice cream scoop on top. "Why, you old..." Mom hit him with a purse. "Ma'am!" the nurse yelled. "Sorry." His mom apologized and punched his father in the arm as he ate the ice cream, not even flinching. Bremen went over everything in his head. Head to toe, he looked like a construction worker, his vest on. He got up off the subway and headed to the Black Bean coffee shop. He went into the bathroom. He went into the last stall, got up on the commode, pulled back a ceiling tile, and came out dressed like an IT guy with badge and glasses. Wall Street. He headed for the rather small building. "I'm looking for Shooey Scooey." "Who are you looking for, young man?" "The burly security guard, special ops probably." Bremen almost smiled. The grisly-looking man took his clipboard from him. "Schoner, second floor. Sign in here. They're waiting for you." He handed Bremen back his clipboard. Bremen was in and out in 15 minutes. He fixed a breach he had made himself the night before. He made his way up the street. 3 more places, rounded out the hour. In and out, no conversations, nothing. He barely sat down before he was finished. The traders, or secretaries, were expecting to go on to a long coffee break, only to be called back before they even got to the break room door. This carried on for about a month. Bremen got the reputation of being in and out. No one knew him. He talked to no one. Only they knew his face and they knew the company name. Making the company was easy, and putting up the $10 million bond got Wall Street's attention. Calls came in asking if they could invest, or is the company going to go public soon? The more work he did, the more they wanted him. They started asking for his company to work exclusively for them on retainer or as a direct hire. His secretary, his mom, politely declined all the offers. He cleared $1 million easily the first year. He didn't expect that, but he should have guessed it. It was Wall Street. He was trying to keep up his head low and not be long enough for people to try and be friendly. After a while, they started calling him for work he didn't cause. At first, it scared him, thinking they were onto a scheme, but apparently all those Ivy League grads were as thick as oatmeal. One day, he saw a problem on a chalkboard. He thought it would be funny to put the solution on it at the end. He received a call a week later asking him to come in. His mother flat out refused. He had solved a problem the company experts couldn't finish. Would he come in, work for them for $1 million salary? His mother politely declined. "Am I taking crazy pills? Why am I refusing you to work for $1 million? His mom asked him. Bremen just sipped tea and said, "They probably were joking. That's the CEO salary." You know how those people are. Finally, a call came in for him to go into the big banks on Wall Street. His father noticed he was taking a lot of care preparing to go into work. He told Mother to pack up. "We're going on a little vacation." His mother was never surprised with how spontaneous his father was. They would be gone for a whole month, kids and all. Bremen went into the lobby. Some lady came up to him and clipped a badge on his collar. She made sure to press it against his chest and smooth it out all the way to his waist. He made sure to pay absolutely no attention to her fondling him. His father had said these women would do this, and if you react in any way, they would claim it was your fault. Apparently, they hadn't gotten physical description of him because they all acted like they knew him. When passing the security desk, he saw they had a picture of him. A thin man met them at the elevators. He worked the elevator as they went up. Finally, they sat him down at a terminal. He took out 2 USB drives. He stuck one in and nothing seemed to happen. He pulled it out and stuck in the other one. An interface popped up, and he seemed to target exactly what was wrong with the terminal. He clicked 2 things and got up. The terminal popped up with the work whomever had been doing before. The woman and man were slightly surprised. It was as if he had did nothing, but their people had worked for hours trying to solve what was going on with the computer. Bremen walked out of the building without any emotion on his face. The report of what he did seemed short on description. Apparently, Bremen's company had some proprietary script that solved problems in seconds. Word got out. The other big financial houses waited on something to go wrong to call his company to see this for themselves. Bremen answered the phone himself. He never gave his name. He simply referred to the company name and said they send someone out. And of course, it was always Bremen. By the middle of the month, he had been in every large institute on Wall Street. Calls started pouring in, only to receive a notice that the phone wasn't in service. If they checked the business license, they would get a notice that the company had gone out of business. There was some back page news that some of the Wall Street banks were at war with each other. And with that, this story is to be continued, not to make it any longer. Please leave a like and a comment if you want me to continue with the story. Thank you for watching.